Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back. I said that wrong. Welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new here. Welcome back if you're not. Today, I'm going to be exposing myself, as y'all saw in the title. And I'm also going to be making avocado toast while I do this, just to do something while I'm talking. I pushed off this video for so long. I planned this video months ago. Like, oh my gosh, that'd be a funny video, you know, a little story time of you. Basically just telling them some of your embarrassing stories. Nothing too extreme. They're just like little mini things that were embarrassing that are funny now, looking back at it. First, before we start, let's just address the elephant in the room, which is this zit pimple. I don't even know what it is. What's the difference between a zit and a pimple? That's embarrassing. But I have these spot patches. I'm just gonna put one of them on right now. Blacking on my Curology. It also could be because of the air. I live in New York, so our air quality has been horrible, but it is a lot better now as I'm filming this video. I forgot if these are invisible ones. Okay, yeah, these are the invisible ones. So you can probably tell it's there. Okay, don't mind my dog squeaking a toy in the background. I'm putting my hair back since I don't want to get hair in my food. She'll stop in a second once I start messing with this food. So maybe some of these will make you guys laugh. Okay, this first one is literally so dumb. It's gonna take me 2 seconds to explain. When I was in kindergarten, I always brought a snack to school. I mean, I did that in elementary school. No matter what, you know, you bring a snack during snack time. Oh my gosh, that was such a time. I was obsessed with fruit cups. You know, I'll put a picture on the screen here. Like, you know what I'm talking about? You can see a picture. I was obsessed with those, and of course, I was like 5 years old. I could not open it, the lid. So I asked my teacher. Actually, no. At first, I tried. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself.
This first one is literally so dumb, it's gonna take me 2 seconds to explain.
I did try to open it myself, and it went everywhere. And you can imagine, you're literally with your class during snack time. Everyone's like talking, you know, it's like the free time. And fruit and the fruit juice is just everywhere, all over the classroom. That was...
Filming videos is really hard with animals and busy roads.
Also, don't mind the lighting. I was so embarrassed from that day that from that point on, I had to have my teacher open it. Like, I wasn't even gonna try again. Which is like actually kind of sad to think about, but I was that embarrassed. I was like, I'm not going through that again. I lost where I cut this. I got distracted. There it is. I couldn't do it. I love those things, so I didn't want to stop bringing them. I just knew I was never opening one again. I don't even know if I've had one since. Not because of that, but it's just been a while. Oh my gosh. I got so distracted. Now I cut this thing weird. Look at me expose myself, guys. I can't even cut an avocado because I got distracted. It's okay. It'll still work. Look at that, guys. Beautiful avocado. If you know me, I'm obsessed with avocado toast. That was basically that story. I wish you guys could see the picture in my head because that would probably make it 10 times funnier. But it was absolutely embarrassing. I really hope that never happens to anyone. I mean, like in school. At home, it's like, oh, whatever. But when your whole class just like saw that happen, embarrassing. Okay, the next one. I sort of have two of these, and you'll see why. I had this thing when I was younger where I threw up all the time. I feel like my entire life I've always had stomach issues, but it was really bad when I was younger. I don't know if it's just a thing when you're little, like you just throw up a lot, because I don't throw up anymore. I always feel like I'm going to, but I never actually do, thankfully. But I threw up all the time as a kid, and my parents can attest to this. Even my classmates can. I threw up all the time in school, all the time in class, specifically in art class for whatever reason. You know, back in elementary school, art was like once a week. Every time it was art day, we would start walking to art class, and I would just immediately get nauseous out of nowhere. Just walking there. This was second grade. I don't know why it was just art, because I wasn't like, I don't know if I was anxious. I mean, I have no idea. It was so long ago. Just mashing up this avocado. And then I would sit in art class, and I'm like, you're fine, Kayla, you're fine. Just like, you know, do your art project. When I was younger, it was to the point where if I felt like I'm gonna throw up right now, there was no like, oh, just get up and go to the trash can if you feel like you're gonna throw up, or go in the bathroom or anything like that. No, like if I felt like I was gonna throw up, it was about to happen right now, and I couldn't get up basically because it was that bad. Like it was just gonna happen right here. And so with that, you can imagine that I threw up multiple times in art class. To you guys, you might be like, oh, okay, you threw up, whatever, like it's not a big deal. No, it's when it happened more than once. Like it kept every art class, I threw up. And with that, you know, when you throw up in school, you gotta get sent home, you know, because you're clearly sick. So it was a constant thing where I kept having to get sent home, and my teacher would be like, oh my gosh, again. And like it was a whole scene in my class because, you know, the janitor's gotta come in to clean it up, you gotta go to the nurse, you gotta get checked. Like it was just always a whole scene. And like I noticed that when I would grow up now, whenever I would feel nauseous before like going to school, I couldn't even go to school because I just knew, I was like, what if I threw up? It was so embarrassing. It left such a mark on me. Like like, again, through my middle school years, my high school years, if I felt like I was sick, absolutely not. Even though I just told you guys, like, I don't throw up anymore, I couldn't do it. I was like, what if I do this time? It was so embarrassing because, like, it's like I was known for, like, the kid that throws up all the time. That's so embarrassing. But there's another one. I was in like this reading group, and it's kind of like the same thing, but we were in a reading group, and all of a sudden we were standing around in a circle, and I felt like I was gonna throw up. And I did see a trash can. It was like right in front of me, but I couldn't get to it. There was like people in the way, but I also couldn't talk. I couldn't like say anything like, hey, can you please move? I gotta get to the trash can, because I was about to throw up. This is so gross. I'm talking about this while I'm making food. I'm sorry if you're eating. Anyways, I couldn't say anything, so I literally was just like, like, I remember this so clearly. I was like, and one of my friends, we're still friends to this day, she noticed, and also then she got my teacher's attention, or like my reading group teacher, and basically they brought out the trash can, and I actually, you know, threw up in there. But then it was a whole scene, because then I had to go to the nurse, and they were like, what friend do you want to bring you? And I was like, oh, obviously that one, like, that was my friend in the group. It was just, that's what I'm seeing by embarrassing, because it was like always in school, and this was a whole nother class thing, so now more people are seeing me throw up, and it's just like, oh my gosh, where's Kaylee? Oh, she had to go home because she threw up. Where's Kaylee? Oh, she had to go home because, like, every week almost. Ugh, it was horrible. So luckily I don't throw up anymore. I just do get very nauseous still. I still have like a stomach, I don't know. I think my stomach is just sensitive. I don't think there's actually anything like wrong. I think it's just that I'm sensitive to a lot of stuff. Okay, I talked about that for way too long. This one's gonna be really short, and I think a lot of you may relate to this. So when I was in 3rd grade, I would say that was probably well, I don't know. That was like, I think just because you got older, you kind of appreciated teachers more and like what they do. And you're still really young in 3rd grade, but like, I remember just being like, oh my gosh, I love my teacher. Not like that. I mean, like, wow, I'm so glad that we got to have her as a teacher. And it just got to a point where school started feeling like home and all this stuff, and I called my teacher mom. And again, I think we all can relate to this, but it was so embarrassing, because if you know, if you've done that before, you know how absolutely embarrassing it is. It's funny to talk about now and it doesn't seem like that much of a big deal, but when you're in the moment where you called your teacher mom, you're like, that was embarrassing. Yeah, if you know, you know. The feeling is it's embarrassing. Okay, this one, please don't get too much of a visual here, even though you probably will. So I don't remember what the water park slide was called, but yes, we're talking about a water park. Actually, no, the water park itself, it was like Great Wolf Lodge. It was like the indoor water park. Anyways, they had this one ride. I don't remember what the ride was called, but I'm sure I can look it up somehow and put it on the screen here. If I can't, I'm sorry. But there was this one water slide, I guess, but you had like a board that you went on, and then you kind of like jumped a little bit on the board, and then you went down this slide, I guess, and the water would keep like moving you, and you kind of had to balance, otherwise you would like flip and fall. And it's like, it's funny when you do, but you're also trying not to, because it's also embarrassing if you can't balance yourself. I was already scared to go on this at first, but I went on it. I'm about to put egg on my avocado now. I go on this thing, and the pressure of the water, like as soon as I jumped onto the board, the pressure of the water, I don't even know how to word this, pulled my so I was wearing like a bikini. I don't know if it's called a bikini when you're younger, but it's like, you know, like the 2-piece. The pressure of the water pulled my bottom half down. So the workers of the ride, keep in mind they were men, and everyone waiting in line watching me saw my butt crack. That was the most embarrassing walk off of that ride ever. Like, out of all of these, I want to say that was the most embarrassing thing I've ever experienced in my life. I can't. And I was with my family, so my family, like my cousins, keep in mind they were also boys. I gotta say back for the other one, but are y'all getting that? It was embarrassing. Awful, embarrassing. Never want to experience that ever again. Also, I never went on that ride ever again. I was like, if it happened once, it's gonna happen again. Absolutely not. And now I'm terrified of that ride. Okay, this one, yeah, this one was embarrassing at the time. Now it's really funny to talk about, but I was in 8th grade. It was the 2nd day of school, and I had gym that day. So gym was every other day, and I had gym 9th, the last class of the day, but I messed up and I went to gym 8th, thinking that I had gym 8th, because here's the thing. I had health 7th, and I had lunch 6th. When I was at lunch, 6th period, I was thinking about the rest of my day. I was like, okay, you got health and then you got gym. You're done. Completely forgot about the fact that I had math 8th. which I think it's so funny looking back now, because if you know me, I learned to like really love math when I was in high school. So it was always so funny looking back how that's the class I forgot. But at the time I didn't like math, so it sort of makes sense. But it was the second day of school. Like, I mean, I can understand some people like do go to the wrong class, but I just had never done it before, and I was always really, really good at my schedule, even on like the second day of school. Like I went through it in my head so much, and I had it right in front of me too at times. Like I had the actual physical copy, but I would like think about it so much before even the first day of school, so I just already knew. I could already identify the number with the class, like, oh, 8, that's math, that's, you know. But didn't do that day. So first off, here's my avocado toast. I got pepper on it. I love avocado toast. Just one last finishing touch, and that's hot sauce. I only put a little bit because it's actually really strong, but it's really good. So what happened after health class 7th was I start walking right to gym during 8th, thinking, I don't even know how I did this still to this day, because I knew that I was in 7th and I knew that there was 9 periods. So how, I really don't understand. It wasn't like I thought that I had math 9th. It was like I knew that gym was my last class of the day, and for some reason I went there after 7th. Health. So I start walking in gym, and I'm getting in gym, you know, you don't fully know your class yet, so nobody's thinking anything weird like, what, Kaylee's in this class. Nobody's thinking anything, not even the teacher, until they go through attendance and my name doesn't get called. And I'm like, but I have gym right now. I know my schedule, I have gym right now, because she was asking me, she was like,
did your schedule change at all? You know, sometimes that happens, and then your name isn't on the attendance.
And I was like,
No, it's been like this in our gym right now.
not even processing that it was 8th period. Okay, I just thought it was the last class of the day somehow. 9th. I don't know how, I really don't know how I skipped 8th. I still don't get it. But my name was on the list, so she's like, whatever, it's fine. Like, just sit in gym for the rest of the, you know, class, and we can just get it figured out, because why would I not sit in gym? I had gym, right? At the end of class, she tells everyone,
Alright guys, you have one more class. You're almost done with your second day of school.
and I go,
Oh my gosh. I have gym next, and I just sat through a whole gym class, thinking that was my class.
so it makes sense why my name was on the list, but it was so embarrassing because I had to go up to the teacher, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm supposed to be in math class right now.
if y'all saw her reaction, oh my gosh, it's so funny looking back now, but at the time, I know I keep saying this, but it was embarrassing. Like, how do you do that? It's a mistake, it happens, but what the heck? Now I just missed my second day of math class, which I didn't care about at the time, but what the heck? And then she had to call my math teacher to tell him. It was a whole thing, like the first week of school, how I forgot math class. And then basically, since the next class was gym, I just stayed in gym, because that was my class, and I just had to listen to everything she said again, you know, like the first day of school stuff. That was like the longest class of my life, because I already heard her the first time. But she was asking if he had a math class 9th, and I could just like go in there for the day, but he didn't, so it wasn't gonna work. But
oh, do you want to know what I did today? Okay, so I didn't look at my schedule all today. I was trying to memorize it. In 9th period I had gym. The rest of your day is the same as yesterday, except for 9th period, which is gym. So I kept thinking gym, 9th period all day. In 7th period, health, I said, okay, gym next period, even though it was 8th period next, which 8th period I had math. And after health, I just went right to the gym. And the teacher's calling off our names, and she's like, are you in this class? Are you sure you're in the right class? And I was like, yeah, because I thought it was 9th period, so I should have been at math. I sit there like the whole 8th period, which I thought was 9th, and then she says, all right, your next period is 9th. Go where you gotta go. And I'm like, what? This is the 8th period, and I totally forgot. So I go up to her, and I'm like, I thought this whole time it was 9th period. It's 8th, and right now I have math, and that's why I wasn't supposed to be in this class. She's like, oh. So yeah, that's what I did today. I can't believe I did that.
yeah, all right, let me take a bite of this quick, because this video is a lot longer than I thought. I'm talking a lot longer. What a shocker. I hope you guys are enjoying though. Okay, this next one, it was when I was in high school. It was freshman year. The eggs are cold now because I took forever, but slaps. The hot sauce just really adds like the finishing touch. That's definitely one of my favorite ways to make it. Sometimes I'll just make it without egg, which is so great too. And sometimes I'll make it with over easy egg. Just kind of depends on what I'm feeling that day. So yeah, I was in math class and I had my winter coat. Ironically, I was in math class. It was the last class of the day, so I had my winter coat because I was putting it on. And I had it sitting on top of a desk, like folded. So when class was over, I could just pick it up and, you know, put it on. And one of my pockets was open, and I didn't know that. And there was coins in there. You know, every time you go in a store and they give you change, sometimes you'll just like shove it somewhere if you don't feel like putting it in your wallet. So that's what I do. I would like always shove coins in my pocket when they gave it to me, and it would pile up over time. So I had a good amount of coins in there. And again, my pocket was open. So when I picked up my coat to put it on, change went everywhere. And if you've heard coins and change fall, you would know how loud it is. So even though it, you know, it was the last class, like class was over, my whole class was still in there. So when that happened, I mean, it just drew attention to me. I don't like that, because of course we all had a good laugh, like I was laughing, but that was the year that I really like was, ever since 8th grade, I just really got anxiety over everything, like social anxiety. And so when that happened and everyone's was looking at me, even though they were laughing, I was like, I hope they're laughing with me and not at me. Like, you know, I just got in my head about everything, and it was just embarrassing. Like, come on, that, like, it was loud. Everybody heard that, everyone saw it. Not everyone saw it, but like, everyone heard it, and everyone looked at me. It's okay though, it's funny now. All right, this one I wish I had on video. So it was my sophomore year of high school, and if you know, I did cheer when I was, you know, in school. It was homecoming night, and we had a really long day that day. We had to actually get up and be to school by like 5:30 in the morning because we were to be on the news, and you know, like the morning news. And then we had a whole day of school. And then after school, we had to stay at school with our team, you know, to get ready for the game, homecoming. And then we had the game. So it was a really long day. So we were tired, so it makes sense why that might have been a reason why this happened. But basically, I was calling a cheer. And this was the cheer. It was, shoot, I forgot it. Shoot, I'm not gonna be able to explain this if I can't remember what the cheer was called. Maybe some avocado toast will help. I'll be back. Okay, I just finished up one of my avocado toasts. I remember it was this is weird saying down, but it was take it away, defense, take it away. So when you're calling a cheer, if you don't know, the person who's calling it says the whole cheer once by themselves so that everyone knows like the cheer you're calling. And then after you've said the full thing once, then everyone else, well actually, okay, it's been a while since I've cheered. I'm saying this wrong. Once I would say, take it away, defense, everyone already has a pretty good idea what cheer it is. So then after I go, take it away, defense, everyone else would start chiming in to say the rest. And then we would do it a couple more times. So I want you to hear these words.
Take it away, defense, take it away.
I, for whatever reason, like I said, maybe just because I was really tired, I go,
take it away, defense, go, Big Red.
And I said that really loud because I was calling the cheer. So even though everyone else chimed in, as I said go Big Red, everyone else goes take it away because that's what it's, you know, called. I said go Big Red so loud, and with the rest of my team saying take it away, you could clearly tell that something was wrong. Like I said go Big Red, they said take it away. But it was so embarrassing because I was the one who was calling it. So when you call a cheer, you're naturally 10 times louder than when you're just cheering because you're calling it. You want to make sure your entire team can hear you, and you have a whole big crowd in front of you. Not to mention one of my teachers was standing right in front of me when that happened. I just wish it was on recording because I was asking people like at the end of the game, oh my gosh, did you hear me mess up? And they were like, no, what? So I guess from the audience perspective, they were probably paying more attention to the football game, so they probably didn't hear it. Also, they don't know our cheers like we do, so my team saying take it away might have overpowered me. But to me, I said go Big Red really loud. I mean, my team heard it because my entire team looked around at me as we're like going. They're like, take it away, and they like looked at me. I was like, no. That's the thing. I think that's what makes it so embarrassing, is like when you do something and you mess up and everyone just looks at you. I think that's what makes it 10 times more embarrassing when you have proof that everyone noticed, you know? If everyone just minds their own business. Like I was always the type of person in school, if someone dropped something and it wasn't like visibly like right in front of me, I wouldn't even turn around and look. Like I would just mind my own business and start working, because I know how it feels to like people to turn around and stare at you when you do something that doesn't do anything. Like just mind your own business. You heard it, whatever. You don't need to stare at them as they pick their stuff up. I wish it was on recording so I could like show it here with you. It would have been on recording if it was, you know, like my senior year cheer. That was a point where COVID was a big thing, so not everyone could make the game, so they would like live stream the whole thing. That obviously wasn't happening then, but if they were live streaming it, if it was like during that time, then it would technically be on video. But I would love to hear if it actually wasn't as noticeable, because obviously for me, I was saying it, so I could hear it, but I don't know. I just know my whole team did. We're almost done here, guys. I have the list on my phone. This one I debated not sharing because I don't know, but I'm not saying names, so it should be fine. Because when I was in high school, I was in a relationship, and we decided, you know, we wanted to hold hands. It was their first time holding hands. So we were walking to class together. We had the same class next. So we were walking, we held hands, and someone decided it would be a fabulous idea to walk right in between us. So we were walking, there was a staircase, what the heck, and this person, this guy, he came up the stairs and literally walked right between us. It definitely was not an accident. How you accidentally walk between two people holding hands? That's weird. And obviously because this guy walked between us, it like separated me and the person I was holding hands with, and it just made the entire walk to class awkward because it was already our first time. We were already a little bit like you know, typical like teenager, you know, relationship behavior when you're like doing things like that for the first time, and it made the entire rest of the walk awkward. Like we literally couldn't even go back to holding hands because we couldn't get out of our heads what just happened and how awkward that was for anyone in the hallway that like saw it, or I don't know. If you're watching this, the person I don't think you are, but because it wasn't anything that we did, but it still was just awkward. Like the whole, I don't know, they know what I'm talking about. All right, the last thing, because this video is way too long, except I'll take one more bite of my avocado toast for you guys. So it's another one from cheer. We were at cheer competition, and if you don't know, before you go out on the mat like of a cheer competition in front of the audience, you go to like a back room and you warm up and you kind of go through your routine a little bit just to solidify everything. And during that time of like warm-ups and stuff, we were going through our routine, and my nails, keep in mind, were way too long for, like, they shouldn't have, I mean, even technically these are too long for cheer. I gotta repaint them. But my nails were just really long, and we were doing our routine and warm-ups, and there was a certain part where I did like, you know, I was standing up and I like had to clap and go down. I can try to find a video of me actually performing that part so you know what I'm talking about. Obviously we weren't recording during warm-ups, but yeah, that like clap and like clean. Somehow during just me doing that, my middle fingernail scratched my leg, but you would think it's just like a little bit like of a scratch, like, oh, your middle finger, like the nail like hit, you know, your skin. No, it somehow scratched. Like I don't know how that made it happen, but I know that was the motion, because after I did that I felt my leg sting a little bit, but I didn't think too much of it. I thought, oh, my nail just like poked my leg, and I kept going. I didn't even look at it. Like I just kept going with my routine until we were done, and you know, I looked down my leg and it was gushing blood. Like blood was dripping down my leg, and I go like we were literally about to go on. We were walking out to go by the mat and wait for them to call us on. Like we were about to go perform. I was like, does anyone have a band-aid? We gotta clean this up, because like my nail not good. And nobody had a band-aid. Like we were walking on stage, you're kind of rushing at that point. You're trying to make sure you're getting out there on time. And so I was like, what do I do? Because I can't go on the mat when my whole leg is like bleeding. But nobody had a band-aid, nobody had anything. It's not like we could go run off quick. Like you gotta keep going, you know? You gotta go out there, go on the mat. So my coach had given me like a tissue or a napkin or something that she had, and like I held it on there, you know, to get hopefully the blood to stop dripping. But it was such a like large scratch that it wasn't just gonna stop from like patting it down with patting it down with like a napkin or whatever. Like you really needed a band-aid. I needed a band-aid, and nobody had one. Obviously, who has a band-aid on them when they're about to go perform? Nobody. So it was embarrassing because we were sitting there in front of, I have video of this. We were just standing there, right? You guys can see our team were huddled around, and we're waiting to get called on, and I go, you guys, I cannot go on the mat. There was a part I had to roll like to my side. Blood was getting on the mat. I was like, you can't get blood on the mat. I'm not going out there with my leg just dripping. And I keep doing it. It was this leg. I'm surprised I don't have a scar. That was a pretty good cut. I can put a picture on the screen here if you don't get grossed out by that, but I mean, this was of course after I put the band-aids on and everything, but I do have pictures of like without the Band-Aids on. But when it initially happened, I mean, it was gushing. So I'm standing there, my team's like, you'll be fine, just like keep patting it down, then you'll go out, you perform for 2.5 minutes, it'll be fine, we can take care of it after. And I go, you guys, this thing is not gonna just wait for a couple minutes. This thing keeps bleeding. Like, you guys can see it, everybody could see my leg gushing. I was like, this isn't gonna work. But obviously nobody knew what to do, so I wasn't like harping on my team. Like, nobody knew what to do. We were trying to go perform. So eventually one of my teammates calls out to the audience. She goes,
Does anyone have a bit, like, obviously loud enough so everyone could hear it? Does anyone have a Band-Aid?
luckily someone in the audience came down with a Band-Aid. And of course, as I'm trying to open this Band-Aid and put it on, the judges call us on. But we can't go on right after they call our name because I'm over here in the corner putting a Band-Aid on. Now, of course, I couldn't get the Band-Aid open. It was like so slight, and I was like rushing, trying to get it open. I couldn't get it open. The person who gave me the Band-Aid opened it, put it on, but while that was happening, like, the judges already called us on. So at this point, the room is silent, and everyone's waiting for this team to go on, and they're like, why are they not going on the mat right now? And it's because I'm over here putting a Band-Aid on. Again, as I'm talking about center of attention, everyone's over here looking at me, this whole crowd, judges, like, wondering what the heck is going on. I scratched myself, and my leg was gushing.
What's going on? She had a scream. Kaylee's got a boo-boo.
And you know what that also did? It also made the judges realize that my nails were really long, or someone's. They obviously didn't know exactly what happened, they weren't back there, but they knew someone's nails were long enough to cut my leg. So that's automatically a deduction. We got 3rd place because part of it was that we got a deduction because someone's nails were too long. That's a safety hazard in cheer, and that's part of the reason why. But you could scratch someone in the eye. It could be a whole thing. Because if my leg was gushing, they knew that it happened right then and there. So it was embarrassing because, like, I have this whole crowd just staring at me. I'm the reason our team couldn't go on in time. Come on, Kaylee, come on. But that's really all I had. I know some of them are kind of little stupid stories, but I figured I'd just put them all in one video. Hopefully, maybe it made you guys laugh. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna finish up this avocado toast. Thank you guys for making it with me and listening to me ramble on my embarrassing stories. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the post notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a brand new video. I mentioned in my previous video that there is something I'm filming that I've been filming this entire month. It's taking me like multiple days to film it, and so that's another reason to turn on your post notifications because it should be up sometime this month. I don't know when because I don't know when I'll be done filming, but the goal is that it'll be done filming this month and uploaded this month. That is the goal. No promises, but that is the goal. So just keep those post notifications turned on so that you'll see what my next videos will be. It definitely won't be like the next video. Like, again, I don't know when it'll be posted, but I will mention in the video when I say, hey, by the way, this is the video I've been talking about, because it's a big deal to me and I think you guys will like it too. So that's all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.